Hey there, it's Steve from Serious Keto, and in this video, we are gonna make some pig candy. A couple of videos ago, I made some homemade bacon from pork belly, and I'll link to that right up here. Lots of recipes for making bacon have you trim off the two ends that tend to look a little bit raggedy. I don't do that for two reasons. One, that's the end I push on when I'm slicing the meat through the meat slicer, but then also, I want that stuff to get smoked, and then when I carve it off after I've smoked it, I get the makings for some pig candy. This is 1 pound, 5 ounces of the stuff I trimmed off the ends and then cut into rough lardons. If you're doing metric, that's 600 grams. Don't get hung up on the weight of the bacon. You can use a pound, you can use 2 pounds, whatever you got. You can also do this recipe with some thick cut bacon and make yourself some candied bacon. I differentiate between candied bacon, which is full strips, and stuff that I can grab and eat like candy, which is what we're actually making. So if you don't have some bacon lardons, just go ahead and use some thick cut bacon. Also, I normally do this recipe outside on the grill. I lay down a big sheet of aluminum foil and cook it that way. However, it's 37 degrees right now outside, mid-April in Wisconsin. Yay. So we're gonna do it inside in the stove. We'll start with 1/4 cup of my Keto barbecue rub, which I will link to right there. That's 30 grams for the metric folk. Then I have 2 tablespoons of Swerve Brown. I prefer Swerve Brown over Sucre Gold for this because it's got that moister brown sugar texture to it. Incidentally, this is also 30 grams, 2 tablespoons. I'll mix this together by hand until I've incorporated and broken up all of that Swerve Brown. Then I'll dump in my bacon chunks. If you were doing this with thick cut bacon, you would just sprinkle this mixture on top of your bacon while it's on a cookie sheet. It's looking pretty coated, so I'm going to transfer this now to a cookie sheet lined with a special silicone mat. Now this mat has these little pyramids on this, which kind of lets the fat drain away. It's also great for collecting fat then later on if you like making your bacon in the oven. Do your best to get a single layer. And then I'm going to pop this into a cold oven. Then we'll set our oven to 350 degrees or roughly 175 if you're Celsius. The reason I put the bacon into a cold oven and bring the temperature up is I have found that when baking bacon on a cookie sheet and using that method, you wind up with a lot flatter bacon. And you can see that in the bacon video that I linked to earlier. Did I need to do it for this? Probably not, but sort of force a habit. Now in terms of cooking time, it's going to vary based on the thickness of your bacon as well as the fattiness. The thicker it is and the fattier it is, the longer it's going to take to cook. With thin cut bacon, you're probably looking at 15 to 20 minutes. With thick cut bacon, you're looking probably 20 minutes to a half an hour. And with my really thick, big lardon chunks, could be over an hour. It's really something that you gotta just sort of keep an eye on, opening the oven from time to time until it gets to your desired crispness. So our pig candy's been going for about 30 minutes, and it's still a good ways away from being crispy. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of mix it up here with a pair of tongs, just to try and make sure that it cooks evenly. Spread it back out into a single layer, and then I'm going to sprinkle it with another 2 tablespoons of brown sugar substitute. You can use the Swerve Brown, or if you're looking for something that's a little bit easier to sprinkle, you can use Sucre Gold. And then we'll pop this back in the oven. It has been another 30 minutes, and we're looking really close on this. I like my pig candy nice and crispy. I'm just going to stir them around. Then we'll go back in the oven for another 5 or 10 minutes. At this point, you really got to keep an eye on them, just to make sure that they're at your liking. I figure I'm 5 or 10 minutes away. It's been an additional 10 minutes, and I am feeling good about this. I'm going to transfer these to a bowl. Now that I got all the big chunks, I'm going to drain off this fat. Candied barbecue bacon fat. I've let this cool long enough that I can pick a piece out of it. That's too small. Oh, this one looks good. I'm gonna have another. The way that I made it here with the 1/4 cup of my barbecue rub, it's got a little bit of spice to it, a little bit of bite to go along with that sweet, which I like. If you don't like it so spicy, my advice is dial back the barbecue rub to either 2 tablespoons or 1 tablespoon and replace it with 2 or 3 tablespoons of brown sugar substitute. In terms of how you use pig candy or candied bacon, eat it straight up. Put it on a salad. Put it in a chocolate bar. Throw it on a burger or a pulled pork sandwich. I tell you what, I'd like to hear your ideas. How would you use candied bacon? Or how have you used candied bacon? Also, I'm thinking that barbecue candied bacon fat is going to be pretty awesome for grilling up a burger. But if you have another idea, I'd love to hear that too, so put it down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, click that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, tap the bell if you want to be notified whenever I release a new video, and if you're interested in supporting the Serious Keto Test Kitchen, click that join button to see what the options are. No obligation. Thanks for watching.